Ow! There's a lot of dumbass criminals to talk about, baby. It's the whacked out news. People breaking the law. Ha-ha, fighting in the nude. Ha, drunk people pooping in the street. Ha-ha, it's the whacked out news. So many people on meth. Ow!
There was a 27-year-old woman in upstate New York named Christy Hosier that got arrested after she went to the police claiming she found a needle in candy that was collected during trick-or-treating. I'd actually seen this too. They showed on the news the other day where somebody apparently found a razor blade in their Reese's cup.
Is that really happening? Or?
I had seen that. It was on ABC and NBC World News. They had shown it, and they had said that the packaging was sealed and everything. And, you know, I had a stat, I think, last year that there had never really been a reported case of that actually happening. It seemed to be more urban legend than actually a real fact. And then I saw the story, and they had a picture of what looked like a razor blade that was embedded inside of a Reese's peanut butter cup.
Well, I just remember that was such a big scare when we were kids.
Yeah.
My mom was like, "You're not eating anything. I have to check the candy for razor blades and glass." But I think she was just trying to eat my candy.
Maybe, yeah. I mean, some parents do. They were, at the end of the story, they were stating that, you should still kind of take a look at your kids' candy. And if for nothing else, the biggest thing that I saw stressed was how much the weed candy looks like what your kids might have, and they'll have a bad reaction to it. So make sure that they're not, because whether it be chips or sweet candy or sour candy, a lot of the packaging looks exactly the same.
Have you seen the nerd rope? For weed?
Yeah,
right. It looks like
it's exactly
candy.
the same, yeah. So they were saying more than ever you need to be looking over your candy. But for this woman, she made the whole thing up. She actually put the needle in it. She was trying to get famous, and she is, but for the wrong reasons. A woman in Pennsylvania suffered severe burns after investigators say she tried to light a crack pipe while she was in a hospital bed. My goodness.
Well, look, hospitals are stressful.
I hear you. Yeah, I mean, it's like I don't feel so good until I take a hit of crack. I'll be a lot better.
I mean,
it's part of my recovery plan. I don't know if that was issued as a script by the doctor or not. I would imagine no.
I'd imagine because, obviously I've never done crack before.
Wow. What a ride, huh?
Do you smoke it and instantly feel it and start turning squirrely, or does it take a little bit to kick in?
In the movies they do. They take a hit and they're just like right away.
I know.
Yeah, I was like, whoa, man, it looks pretty fast acting. So just from what I've seen on the film. There's a woman in Pennsylvania suffered severe burns after, that was the crack pipe. They say Tallahassee police arrested 54-year-old William Clark for allegedly throwing scalding cooking grease on roommate Carl Sanders during a fight over house guests. They say Sanders recorded video as Clark emerged from the kitchen carrying hot grease left over from frying ribs. He said, "Either you leave or I'm going to make you leave." Then he hurled the grease, which struck Sanders' face, neck, and arm, causing severe burns. Dang, rib grease?
That happened to one of my family members. She was working at a restaurant, and some drunk guy walked into her while she was bringing a hot plate and got severe burns all over her stomach. I mean, it was bad.
Yeah, I could see that. You can't play with that kind of stuff. Yeah, they say Clark then gave conflicting explanations to police, first citing Sanders' refusal to leave, then claiming Sanders lunged threateningly. The affidavit states Clark admitted he held the pan of hot grease to use it as a weapon and refilled the grease in case he had to use it again. He's now facing aggravated battery charges, but was released on $10,000 bond with GPS monitoring and pled not guilty.
But let's not act like also throwing a slab of ribs at you wouldn't hurt either.
It could.
Yeah.
They're really hot. Yeah.
They're bony.
Yeah. I put an eye out. A hockey coach has been dismissed, and a bar is facing backlash after images surfaced showing the man dressed as a Nazi at a Halloween party.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, we'd heard that story. Somebody else had worn that, got into a fight and swung a beer mug and struck him in the face. Yeah, it doesn't seem like those Nazi uniforms go over very well for gatherings.
You might want to rethink that strategy.
I mean, unless you just want to fight the entire bar. A factory worker in Russia is being sued by his company because he mistakenly received all of his coworkers' paychecks in his account. He said, this is awesome. It was about $87,000 that was put into his account. He just stopped showing up to work and now refuses to return the money. I don't know how it works in Russia, but I have a feeling he's not going to get away with it. They say somebody, quote, borrowed a fiberglass dino statue from a gas station in Montana as part of a Halloween prank. Those kind of things happen, but I don't know if you can borrow something and then try to say it later.
No, and also, don't take people's dinosaur statues.
Yeah.
It's not cool.
You wouldn't like that.
No, I would not.
Tell you, this guy's more bold than me. A 40-year-old man was arrested after launching himself in a hang glider off the Verrazano Narrows Bridge in Brooklyn. Happened about 5 p.m. on Sunday. He landed safely in the park, but he was taken into custody 2 hours later. No injuries reported, but yeah, they say a lot of these people love doing that daredevil move, but they will arrest you for it. Well, a woman named Tish Hyman is alleging her membership at Gold's Gym in Beverly Center in Los Angeles was terminated after she confronted a biological male who she said repeatedly entered the woman's locker room. Now, the video is going viral because after having her membership revoked, she went into the lobby and let everybody know about it and why.
Men, grown men with big in the women's locker room. And that's why I'm getting kicked out. And I want to make sure the girls know. Everybody saw that man in the locker room. No one's saying and I'm done with it.
Okay, well, she went out with a bang, huh? That's crazy. Yeah, I guess under California law and according to gym policy, locker room access is based on a person's self-reported gender identity. So they said, this is the law, this is the policy, and if you don't like it, guess you got to go to another state because everybody's going to be doing this here.
Did she mention, everything was out?
Apparently so, yeah.
Yeah.
She was just saying she doesn't feel comfortable being completely nude herself in front of that equipment. And so she had complained and they said, sorry. And they said, your gym membership is revoked. So she's going to have to work out from home, I guess.
Was your last name Hyman?
I believe it was. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, crazy, right? And Cracker Barrel, after having a disastrous PR team, has revamped. They got rid of them, brought in a new one, and now it seems like they're doing good things. You know, a lot of times they almost bring in like a comedy writing team to handle the social media, and they launched off of Trump's move to get rid of the East Wing on the White House and replace it with the ballroom. So they photoshopped in and said, we had a better suggestion and put a Cracker Barrel there instead of a ballroom. And apparently people loved it, laughed, and it's going viral. So seems like a better play than what they were doing with trying to change the logo and the look of the restaurant.
Now, did they change their food at all? Or are they still sticking with the same kind of menu?
I think everything that they were going to do, they've backpedaled and said, yeah, we're going to kind of go back to why you love the restaurant and maybe just make it better. I mean, maybe there are some changes they should have made, but it seems like they went left when they should have gone right. So there could have been some things to do, and hopefully they're going to be doing it. They say that Hooters is going to be doing the same thing. Could they possibly have a seriously good resurgence? That's kind of my question right now. The original team that actually started with Hooters is taking it back over again. The old dudes, well, I guess they weren't old then, but they launched it in the 80s in the Tampa area. They have now taken it back over and are in full control, and they say they're going to be dialing back the risque image that has come to define the restaurant.
Weak.
They say the uniforms will revert to the chain's original orange athletic shorts, which was kind of more of the 1980s beach bar roots that they wanted to have, you know, kind of looking and feeling like Clearwater.
With the pantyhose underneath?
It didn't say anything about the pantyhose. It just said I don't know about that, but it was just the 80s orange shorts. They say they're going to streamline the menu, have higher quality ingredients, and a more family-friendly atmosphere.
Well, let's work on the food, make sure that's good. Mm-hmm. That's important.
Yeah, it'd be a good thing.
What are your thoughts on that move?
Well, I think they need to change it. That would be my ultimate question. If you were in charge of saving Hooters, what would you do? What would be your ultimate play?
I would update how they look.
Yeah.
I would still kind of stick with what made Hooters popular.
Okay.
And I would make sure that their food is just better. Come up with some new dishes.
Seems like that's what they're going with.
Yeah.
Is there anything special that you would add to the menu or add to the restaurant that you think would bring the people in?
I mean, you could do your own style of pizza. I know it doesn't really make sense, but a chicken pizza?
Gotta shake it up.
A chicken wing pizza?
Yeah. Got to shake it up. It'd be interesting to see because a lot of the ideas I come up with, I think it would just be a lot of ripping off Twin Peaks, which I think is doing it right. I mean, you could add more TVs and make it more of a sports destination, stuff like that, but that feels like it's kind of just doing what they're already doing.
It is also, it seems like a Twin Peaks has more life and energy in it.
Yeah, I think that's it. It feels more vibrant.
Yes.
You're right. The energy is better. I think the music is solid. And a Twin Peaks, so I'd fix that. I remember the one thing I couldn't stand about Hooters I went into. Now, this was a while ago, probably a couple decades, but I remember they were playing 50s music.
Oh, we know you don't like 50s music.
It's just like the Beach Boys. I'm like, oh, man, the Beach Boys? I got to eat these chicken wings that look like pigeon.
One of my last Hooters experiences when I had a feather in my chicken wing, and I'm like, oh, man.
Yeah, you can't be doing that.
No, you cannot be doing that.
That's it, yeah. Featherless chicken wings is a great start. Michigan Mike said the Hooters restaurants in Tampa are much nicer than I'm used to. Probably just because it all started in Clearwater. So maybe they need to take the same quality that they've put close to the headquarters and spread it everywhere else. Because, yeah, it definitely has been passed up, at least in this area, by the Twin Peaks, which, does pretty good quality food. It's lively, good music, lots of TVs, good atmosphere.
Well, that is what's tricky and sucky sometimes for a chained restaurant. Sometimes they can be amazing depending on who's running it. One could look dumpy and gross, and then another one could look beautiful and they're running it the right way. And it kind of sucks for them because if, you've got a bunch of people not running other ones the right way,
right,
you're getting a reputation you may not deserve.
Now, what happened with Hooters? They were, first to market really with the kind of sports bar food kind of place with the younger hot chicks that are serving you, and it worked. And then they got passed up, at least in this area, by Twin Peaks. And I don't know how you reclaim that without doing exactly what Twin Peaks is already doing well.
Man, and them fried pickles. Oh,
yeah.
Twin Peaks fried pickles are good.
No, you're right. Absolutely. So, I think the food has got to be just that amazing. And then I don't know what you do that's different than what they've done. So good luck to Hooters and their resurgence. I'm just not sure that I see it or not.
All of these people in my life acting berserk. I'm feeling all pissed off and hurt. I need to know if I am the jerk. Oh, am I the jerk? Oh.
They want to know if they're a jerk for not forgiving somebody who didn't believe them. It says the night before my best friend, now ex-best friend's wedding, one of the bridesmaids, who was the bride's cousin, and the groom hooked up. And I saw them both leaving out of the same hotel room looking very hot and steamy. Then I overheard the groom tell the bridesmaid, "This is the last time." And I heard the bridesmaid giggle like, "Okay, right." I tried my hardest to tell the bride, and I did it in the most gentle way I could, just her and I. But she absolutely did not believe me. She called me every name in the book and even told me not to come to the wedding, which, of course, I didn't. I was devastated. The bridesmaid that hooked up with the groom recorded it on her phone. And she pulled the bride aside and said, "I think you should know what your husband was doing last night," and then showed the video to the bridal party. So basically, everyone found out right there at the wedding. The bride called me and she tried to apologize, but I still feel very hurt about the words that she used to attack me. And I'm wondering, am I the jerk for not wanting to forgive her? I tried to help her out. And she turned on me and I didn't go to the wedding. I was the one who looked like the jerk.
Dude, if I have a best friend that I care about and I know they're getting cheated on and I find proof that it's happened, I'm always going to say something to them.
Yeah, I think you did the right move. Now, you may not get the reaction that you wanted. You were hoping that they'd be like, "Oh, I will always trust you." But considering they're in a tough situation, they reacted out of emotion. Obviously, they regret the way that they acted now. To me, if you really care about the person, this is one thing I would try to forgive. Just me.
Yeah, because I think they're trying to have your back. right?
Yeah, I don't think you're a jerk for it. I just think that, you're misguided. I think sometimes we got to give forgiveness to people. People are not perfect. They're gonna react in ways that every now and then, look, I need forgiveness. There are times where I get emotional or whatever. I'm like, I'm sorry. I was not in my right mindset and I was twisted around by lies, and I hope you can forgive me, because I think we all need to ask for that, and I think we need to give it.
You are 1,000% right about forgiving, because I've acted emotional. I've acted out in ways I'm ashamed of or embarrassed about, and I would hate for no one not to give me grace and forgive me. Especially if you're trying to get better and learn.
In fact, I imagine, if anything, your relationship will be closer and tighter because she knows she can trust you. Even when it's a difficult conversation, you'll come to her with an inconvenient truth and you'll let her know what it is. So I would imagine your relationship should be tighter and better, and she needs a good friend like you. So I don't know. That's just my take. This person wants to know if they're a jerk for refusing to cancel their vacation. It's a 27-year-old dude that had planned a $2,500 non-refundable trip with their best friend to Universal Orlando and Disney World. They said, it's something I've always wanted to do, especially to see the Harry Potter park. After my dad passed, I used part of my inheritance to fund it. Well, my 27-year-old girlfriend was initially supportive, but has now changed her stance when she learned that J.K. Rowling's was anti-trans. Her younger brother is trans. And so she said, if you do this, you are attacking me and my brother. Now, I just said, look, I don't look at it like that. I'm a Harry Potter fan. It's not that I'm a J.K. Rowling fan. It's not that I support what she stands behind. I just like what she created. And I said, look, this is non-refundable too. I'd lose a lot of money if I canceled. But she said it's about principle, not money. I said, look, I get your position. I understand why you wouldn't like it, but I mean, come on, I'm 27 and I can't really justify losing this money. Am I a jerk if I still go? Look, I don't like when people take their views and they put them on you and they expect that you're going to react the exact same way. I think that is a tough situation to be in. I think it's tough to turn down the money. I guess you got to figure out how reasonable you think your girlfriend is being. It's a reasonable request, and if you like her enough to part with that money. I don't know. I don't think you'd be a jerk if you go, but that's not near and dear to my heart.
Yeah, I don't think you're a jerk either.
Yeah. So, to me, I would just try to nicely say, look, I support you. I support your brother. I support the cause. And I don't agree with her position, but I think that you can disagree with a creator and a performer sometimes, and you can still, inadvertently support them. It's not like you're going and wearing a banner or a T-shirt or anything like that with her face on it.
We do it all the time. Didn't we play a clip of a Diddy song today?
Yeah, we did. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's just, look, there are just, unfortunately, when it comes to entertainment, you don't have a lot of flawless people that create the entertainment that we come up with.
There's a lot of flawed people in the entertainment world.
I mean, if we really did that, you would have to go through probably everything you watch, everything you listen to, and throw out 80% of it if you really wanted to split hairs like that.
But I'm with you. You ever have somebody not get along or like somebody and they just expect you out of loyalty not to like them, even though they did nothing wrong? They just expect that. I don't like when people have to force their views on me, and if I don't follow exactly how they think I should follow, they're going to give me a bunch of crap for it.
Yeah, that's where, to me, I'm not a fan of doing that. I wouldn't do that to somebody else. I would tell you, hey, this is what I believe. This is how I act as a result. And if you like it, you're welcome to do the same thing. But I'm not going to hold it over you and expect you to do the exact same thing, because it's my own convictions. These got to be your convictions. Well, our ridiculous take of the day is brought to you by a Vogue UK writer, Shantae Joseph, who has written an article asking, is having a boyfriend embarrassing now? Like, if you have that on social media and you show off, be like, I got a boyfriend. Should you actually be humiliated by that fact rather than saying, yes, somebody finds me worthy and attractive and I'm having a good time with a companion? Here's why she says it's embarrassing.
Gender was like an interesting subsect of women, and something I've noticed across line, particularly across all of my comments, of women who were just like, being with a man, period, is embarrassing. Like, it doesn't matter about anything that was said before. Just the very act of being with a man is somewhat embarrassing. And then I really wanted to get into that because I thought that's what's really interesting here. And you kind of just can tell there is this feeling, you know, men are going this way, women are going that way, right? Whether it's our politics, education, income, employment, women are on a upwards trajectory, like leveling up, becoming the best version of themselves, and men are not keeping up. And so now when you see a woman who is just killing it in her prime, and then you see her with a man, it's like, whoa.
See, I think I could only bring this topic up on a day when Virginia wasn't here. Because really what the argument is that women are trending up in a big way and men are trending down. That we are coming up with Neanderthal beliefs and thoughts, that we are not as useful as we used to be, that we're not quite living up to our end of the bargain. And women, you really hold yourself back when you latch onto one of us because you're just bringing yourself down. You don't need us. You're great on your own. And it's kind of embarrassing to say, oh, it's kind of like you need a boyfriend. Don't you realize that none of us do boyfriends anymore, that species is outdated?
All of that stuff is designed to separate people from one another.
Yes.
It's all about dividing and division, and I am not here for it. I mean, I'm just, there's great guys, there's great women.
Right.
That's just the way of the world.
Yeah. And look, I think everybody has, I've seen, if you talk about the belief system, I think I know where she's going with this. I've seen a lot of women that have the same belief system as well. So are you saying they're trending down? You know, is it just because you don't like their political beliefs that, you know, that's the reason why we are where we are?
Well, I just think, man, when it comes to if someone's on a microphone or doing a video and they're ranting, you never know what someone's motive is. Division is selling. It sells. It makes money. It gets people go viral. It
does work for them. But I do believe a lot of these people honestly believe what they say. I don't think that it's performative. Sometimes it is. I don't know that this one is. I think that she truly believes that it is kind of embarrassing to have a boyfriend to say, oh, okay, you're with a guy that probably has whacked out beliefs. He's not as useful as he used to be. And what happened to you, the independent woman who doesn't need to have somebody by their side?
Well, I mean, again, that's the old, only a Sith speaks in absolutes. Every situation is different. Mm-hmm. And like I said, when it comes to humans, there are amazing women, there's amazing men, and I think we need each other. We need one another.
I am a traditionalist, all in that belief, and I think that what we've done for thousands of years, I think it still works. I think it's still good.
Even if you're just treating people with just respect and kindness, we need that in the world.
Yes, that's what I think. But I'm always kind of curious when somebody throws out something like this, are there other people going, yes, girl? She's so right.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
And is there something I'm not seeing as to why it is embarrassing to have a boyfriend today? Okay, random strong opinions. Like it's embarrassing to have a boyfriend. That was a Vogue editor's opinion.
Well, first of all, it's Vogue.
Right. Yeah, exactly. You kind of see the title, you're like, oh, here we go. Here we go. Something's going to really shake up the world, right? Be embarrassed if you have a boyfriend.
Because every boyfriend out there is just horrific and horrible.
Embarrassing. None of them are involved. None of them.
Yeah, none of them have kindness in their heart.
None of them could possibly share your political views.
None of them will take a bullet for you. It's all wrestling, dog.
One comment said, I think that's a cat lady just trying to cope. I don't know. Who knows? Maybe you're right. Okay, we do have other random strong opinions here that people are firing off to us via text 877-979-WRMF, 877-979-9763. A couple of opinions here. One person said that teachers should wear body cams. That way you get to see how much of a jerk your kid really is. Feels like that might actually come from a teacher. Yeah, that is kind of an interesting thing. And you are seeing more cameras in the classroom because you've got to prove those kind of things where you have a lot of things where something will happen. The kids will go home. They will tell their parents. And then the parents will come in fuming. And the teacher's like, no, it didn't go down the way your kid's explaining. And they don't believe the teacher. They believe their kids. It's kind of a way of parenting today where you believe the kids over everything else. So to me, I think a lot more schools are using these cameras so they can pull out that video and show it to the parents and be like, yeah, no, see, your kid is the one who struck first, whatever it might be. So, yeah, I think that's probably a good idea, and teachers would probably love it if they had the money to do it. What do you think about this? Do you believe that nobody watches the recap before the show?
So it depends on what it is. If it's let's say I'm watching a series, I kind of forget it. I'll watch the recap. What I don't like, and it's a new trend, it's a newer trend on YouTube where you're watching a YouTube video and they'll give you the beginning, middle, and end at the very beginning, kind of almost ruining the entire video. You're going, why are you giving me all of the juice right at the beginning?
The beginning, middle, and end?
Yeah, they'll give you a little
like a TV show?
They're
now, is it from the show itself that's putting it out?
It depends on what it could be. A body cam video. It could be a murder special. It could be a documentary. And
they're trying to give you the entire story in just an abbreviated form. Is that what they're doing? Because, I mean, if you get the beginning, middle, and end, I mean, that's the story.
Well,
there's nothing left to tell.
They're hooking you. They're trying to hook you with a tease.
Well, why would you ever watch the longer content when you told me everything?
That's what I thought, too.
And maybe that's just it. Maybe people are like, you know what, cut off all the fat. Just give me the bullet points, and I'm good with that story. Maybe that's the way we are. We want to just race off to the next story. So, yeah, they're there. I use them on rare occasion. And like you'd said, only when I've been away from a show for a significant amount of time. I'm glad they're there. And look, when you can hit skip recap, it's not that big of a deal. This random strong opinion said, I would have much more trust in ChatGPT if it didn't start every response with a patronizing, that's a great question. I only asked how to boil an egg. That's a great question. They have said that is one of the flaws of AI, is it's so agreeable that it gives you this fallacy that you're so smart with the questions you ask and everything that you say, and you're getting this false relevancy that doesn't exist.
It's the biggest yes person ever.
Right.
There's nothing.
It kisses your butt all the time.
There's no bad idea you can give to AI. They'll figure out to make you feel juiced up about it.
Mm-hmm. This random strong opinion says, gym people, it's not meal prep. You packed a lunch. You haven't reinvented food. That is a term, if you know the gym world, I always talk about. Yeah, my meal prep takes all this kind. No, you're just making dinner, dude. We always got these new trendy terms.
You were in that world for a while, weren't you?
I was, and I called it meal prep.
Meal prep.
Dude, you were just making dinner. That's all it was. Just because you made 5 dinners doesn't change the fact that you've done 5 dinners. You still made dinner. And this person says, let's rethink this term. You weren't the class clown. You were actually a moron who disrupted everybody else's education and disrespected the teacher trying to do their job of preparing everybody else for life.
Yeah, that's still the class clown.
Yeah, I guess they're just saying, don't brag about it. You weren't that awesome is what you think you are. Yeah, it's class clown. I was like the funny guy. You weren't funny. You're annoying.
There's a percentage of the classroom that liked the class clown.
Right. Absolutely. It says here in this random strong opinion, the difference between a barber and a hairdresser is that the barber does what you ask, but you're in a constant battle with the hairdresser to rein in their unbridled creativity. Okay. Do you notice a difference? If you go to a barber, they're yes men. They'll do what you say. You go to a hairdresser, like going, actually, I think we should take your hair and do a flip and a twist and maybe a color.
I've had both, to be quite honest with you, where
opinionated barbers do exist.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Not all the time.
Okay.
It's rarer.
I guess they're saying more often than not they have less opinions. They're like just happy to get you out of the chair.
Yeah, a lot of times they do.
Random strong opinion here. It says, people who don't get their frozen foods last at the grocery store are psychotic.
I'm psychotic. I know. Just like a class clown, I bought my ice first, and I'm walking around the grocery store with my ice. I go, what are you doing, dude?
It's all gone.
Yeah, what's this, melting?
You just got a bag of water.
I go,
take it home, refreeze it. You can do whatever you want. To me, as long as you're not abusing your kid, that's fine. That's the thing about being a parent. You have the preferences to raise your child to be basically what you want them to be. But you can't disagree with it. And I'm not sure this feels like the right move. teaching your kids to actually talk back. I guess kind of be snippy and sassy with adults and authority figures.
Oh, boy.
Now, maybe I got to hear the explanation, and I'll give you a chance before you judge. Dax Shepard and Kristen Bell.
Okay, I'm out.
They've always got an interesting take on stuff, and here's Dax explaining why they actually teach their young daughters, Lincoln, age 12, and Delta, age 10, to talk back and sometimes act in ways that others interpret as lacking respect.
But she's basically like, they're kind of shook with how our daughters will talk back to us or to anybody.
Okay.
Because it's very un-Southern, right? Down there, everyone's like, hi, Miss Kristen. Hi,
Yes.
Mr. Dax.
Yes.
There's this whole, you're a kid and there's value to that. There's something I appreciate about that. And she's like, yeah, your kids will let it rip. Like they seem to have no kind of respect, is what she was saying.
Ooh, okay.
And and like feeling a little entitled. And I said, you're dead right.
Oh, okay.
They do talk back, and they are not respectful. And I can understand where that seems like completely unruly. But I want you to know what I'm prioritizing, which is like when they're 19 and their boss is a creep, I want them to talk back.
Okay, but can't you teach them to stand up for themselves but still be respectful? Because it sounds like where they kind of got checked by a friend was saying, hey, your kids are kind of sassy little jerks.
That's the most annoying clip. And we played the Mariah Carey clip yesterday. You're not going to get a more annoying clip than that.
He was told that it seems like your kids have no kind of respect and they feel like they're a little entitled. And he's saying, well, we're letting them do that because whenever they have somebody in authority position come at them, we want them to know what it feels like and to be accustomed to standing up for themselves and saying, no, I'm not going to take it. I don't know that you have to sacrifice one for the other, though, Dax.
Dude, you're able to stand up for yourself and still do it in a respectful way and not be, a craphead.
And when it comes to being respectful to people, I find that is something that you run into every single day. That boss or that person in authority that, is not being cool to you, that may happen a couple times in your life, maybe 5, maybe 10, I don't know. Stop working for crappy bosses, but you can have that skill tucked away and pull it out when you need it and still be respectful to people in authority positions.
I couldn't disagree more with what he said. And maybe he's trying to be shocking and provocative because they seem to say clips that go viral.
Yeah.
But yeah, most people are going to say you're raising a monster. And that's the most important thing on the planet is raising a good human.
Yeah,
that's what's going to be around.
Dax says he's willing to handle the embarrassing moments like the kids acting out in a restaurant because he believes it is worth the long game outcome.
Why are we listening to him?
I hope you're not. I think, to me, like I said, you can raise your kid however you want, and we can agree to disagree. But I don't know if this is the new age parenting and if other people are listening to this being like, yeah, you know what, that's a really good idea. I think if anything, anyone who heard that clip and Dax on that podcast thought, yeah, you know what, I'm going to raise my kid to come off a little entitled and to talk back to authority figures because when they need it, I want them to feel accustomed to it. I just think that you can teach kids both sides of the highway and you can change lanes just like if you're traveling on I-95 to go from I'm respectful to authority to I'm standing up to myself to a boss that's a jerk.
Well, yeah, and he even used the term creep. We all know if a boss is a creep, yes, we need to call them out, stand up to that. But he's making it sound like this is universal for every situation.
Yeah, I am just hoping that there aren't other parents that are taking that same route, but who knows?
Dude, that's why I got out of baseball coaching for kids.
Right.
I couldn't take how some of these parents just did not. Their kids were so disrespectful, and I'm going, can you please tell your kid to stop taking that baseball bat and hitting that, that person's car that's not theirs or yours?
Well, Dax is coming up with one time in life where it would be good to have their daughters accustomed to talking back, and that is when you need to stand up for yourself. There's one. Now let's talk about all the other times where you should be polite and respectful to people in authority positions, because actually what might wind up happening is a lot of people might pass you over saying, yeah, it's an entitled, rude little kid. I'm not, or an adult if they become that, and say, yeah, you're not going to get those opportunities to even have a boss to talk back to.
I know people like them and they're, oh my gosh, they're such a great couple. They are... They annoy me, man. I'm sorry.
Well, I'm just saying that, look, if anybody listens to that and be going, yeah, I'm taking my parenting cues from Dak Shepard and Kristen Bell. After the stuff I've heard from them, I would strongly discourage it. And if you think that is the right way, I would like to hear you back it up, because I have not seen it from what he's saying.
Well, why? Because they're actors? Why? Because they do a podcast?
Yeah. Well, honestly, it's crazy. I think people are truly looking for influence these days, and they don't know where to find it, because it seems like anybody who has a microphone is telling people something stupid.
Including myself. But.
Yeah, absolutely. Don't listen to us either. Find a better source to get your insight from.
It's just the first time in human history, at least that we know of, where pretty much everybody has a microphone.
Yeah, no, you're right.
I always say this, once you start getting into social media, you're kind of considered a public figure. You're putting stuff out there.
Yeah.
And you're giving your opinion, which could go viral, and it's called social media.
Right.
So you're part of, you're part of that world.
Yeah, we used to have a barrier to entry where to get a microphone or be in front of a camera, you used to have credentials, and a media company would have to hire you, and that meant that they had to think that you were worthy of having something to say. But now with the way technology is, and anybody can have a podcast or a video podcast or their own YouTube channel or social media, there's no barrier to entry. And so, yeah, there's a lot of voices out there. And I know, honestly, Dax's podcast does very well. He's very influential, and he's got a lot of people who listen to him.
There are people saying that my take is wrong. They love Dax and they love her, and I'm being a blowhard.
And honestly, I do like them together. I just, as I continue to hear their parenting philosophies on this, it's just not the way I would go about it.
No way.
All right, well, the question is, how well and who knows the bird better? Now, I am definitely the underdog here, because Denny's knows the bird very, very well, and he is the subject today. We're going to see how we answer on this. Denny's, you're going to be just simply writing down the yes, no's and holding them up so we can see you through the studio.
I mean, keep in mind, me and Denny's lived together for a good 4 or 5 years. This is a man I've shared underwear with.
Oh, I know. Yeah. And you and I have never shared underwear.
No, yeah. We've done other weird things.
We have, yes. We've taken baths together and things like that, but yeah, we haven't done that yet.
I've shampooed your hair.
Yes, you have. Yeah. We've done all that, but yeah, not yet shared underwear. Okay, so the first one that we have here, has Jbird ever taken a cooking class? Jbird ever taken a cooking class? I am going to roll with a yes on that. What do you think, Denny's?
Oh, it's tough, because is it unsanctioned? Was he taught by somebody, maybe not attending a class that he paid for, or something that he went to intentionally?
Yeah, this would have to be something that would be more of a sanctioned class, where you would go in and maybe do it with a date or something like that. It's not that he has a girl over and showing him how to make chicken cacciatore.
All right. I did write yes.
Okay, you can change it. Go ahead if you don't think that's correct based on the stipulations.
No, I think on a date night, you go to one of those things, or you go to a place where they teach you how to cook a meal. I think I think he's probably done that.
Okay, I'm writing yes on that. Are we correct, Bird?
You guys are correct.
Oh, okay, all right. When did you take this cooking class?
A long time ago. I don't even remember the place, but it was cooking all kind of stir fry and all kind of. It tasted delicious.
Oh, I bet.
Where the hell was that place?
You took it, you just don't know where.
Well, there might have been some wine involved.
Of course, yes, there usually is. Okay, does Jbird own a fanny pack? What do you think on that? Does he own a fanny pack? Denny's, you're saying yes.
Yeah, I mean, through his travels, a goofy fanny pack, I'm sure.
I went with a no on that. Who's correct?
Oh, my gosh. Denny's, I've had several. You don't think I've had fanny packs?
Yeah, I thought probably in the past you did. I know you currently did.
Dude, fanny packs are great for snacks.
Okay. Well, he's a fanny pack man. He defends it. Okay. Has Jbird had a massage? in the past year? Has he had a massage in the past year?
Professional or romantic?
Professional.
Denny.
I know, right?
So inappropriate.
In the whole year.
I went with a yes on that as well. Jbird, have you had a massage this year?
I have.
Okay. All right. That's right. How many would you say you've had in the last calendar year?
Professionally, probably one.
Okay. All right.
Romantically, that's different.
Okay. He's had a lot of those, huh? Okay. Oh, yeah. So much to rub. Okay. All right. Has Jbird ever gone skinny dipping? Has he ever gone skinny dipping? I'm going with a yes on that. Denny's, you're a yes?
I'm a yes as well.
Jbird, have you?
Of course.
Yeah, that's what I figured. Okay.
Streaking, skinny dipping. Does anyone do that anymore? It was pretty popular when I was younger.
I don't think I've ever did streaking just because, first of all, I don't like running with my privates.
Right, yeah. Streaking is not real flattering unless you're super fit.
Exactly.
Yeah, to me, if you ever did it, I'd have to go in the cover of darkness.
But you've streaked before, right?
Not streak, but I've done the skinny dipping. Yeah, I used to jump into fountains naked a lot. It was kind of an old hobby of mine when I lived in Kansas City.
Streaking's a cowboy move, man.
It is.
It really is.
It is. It's a different game. And final one here. Denny's got a 4-3 lead on me. I got to get this right, and he's got to miss to force an overtime. Has Jbird ever hooked up with somebody that's over 10 years older than he has? Ben, what do you think, Denny's? Ever hooked up with somebody that is 10 plus years older?
I put no.
Yeah, I'm going to say somebody older, but I don't think it went 10 years. I think it was close, but not 10 or more.
I agree.
We got 2 no's. Unfortunately, you know what? I'm going to have to change it. I got to go yes. I got to throw a Hail Mary just in case to try to tie this up. So I'm going to say yes. Denny says no. Who's right?
I don't think it was 10 years, no. But
Okay.
I think you're right. Close. But
Yeah,
not, I don't
like
think it
7
was.
or 8.
I don't think it was a full 10, no.
Okay. All right.
No, I mean, I'm not trying to be ageist or anything.
No, I hear you. All right. Just trying to see if you've been with them experienced ladies. All right, Denny's, you get the win. Very nice, as I thought you would. Congratulations. You know the bird a little bit better than I do. Is anybody going to care? I think that's the ultimate question. And so far, I thought that we were going to care about AI music, and we're going to say, hey, yeah, we're just not going to reward that. We like when humans are making our music because we connect to it spiritually. It's out there, and it's all over the place. Now, the things that I like with AI, I'm okay when they rework an older song. It's fun. It's novelty. It's whatever. It's not going to become one of my favorite songs, likely. But, you know, to me, I'm like, all right, I'm okay with AI in that. Creating the new music, though, is, I know you got an issue with it as well, Bird. And the question is, how prevalent is this going to become? Now, we had talked about this Zania Monet. She is an AI gospel and R&B artist that is created by a Mississippi songwriter. And I guess she realized that she didn't have the vocal chops maybe or the musical ability, but she had song in her heart. So she writes the lyrics, and she has this Zania Monet with an AI face, AI voice, AI music. And she's creating the music and got a $3 million record contract to do it. I was like, okay, is that going to be wise? How is this whole thing going to play out? And I got to tell you right now, it looks like she's winning.
Yeah, I think you're going to just see it's going to be whatever you're into. Some people do not care about this stuff, and then there's some people who do. And it'll be just another thing that people fight about.
Yeah, so as it is right now, this AI artist, Zania Monet, has appeared on multiple Billboard charts, including hot gospel songs, where she's number 3, hot R&B songs, where she's number 20, and adult R&B airplay, where she's number 30. So you've got that song or songs by an AI artist on those 3 charts. Then, if you look, there is another artist, Child Pets Galore, that is on the Christian Digital Song Sale list. You've got Unbound Music, which is on the Rock Digital Song Sales chart at number 10. And this is an AI group right here.
Stronger than the pain, stronger than the lows. Even when the world says no, you still grow. Every scar's a story, every tear's a fear.
that's number 10.
But why are all the songs, everyone singing like this on these AI songs?
That's the one thing I want. Well, look, honestly, to the disservice of some humans, they tend to get in that groove too, don't we? Didn't we have the era of the hair?
We absolutely.
And so humans do the same thing. And you may say, okay, well, my critique is that all AI is just going to be pulling from other things, so all the songs going to sound the same. But, you know, when humans do that, we actually are hurting the humans because we're not going out on a limb and trying new sounds and doing new things.
Well, I think because we were born in a different time. We were born where people were playing instruments, writing their own music, and they were doing it themselves. If you're born into AI, I'm not sure you're going to be upset about it.
No, I don't either. And this is what really is a statement to me. I think we're looking at about 8 different songs that are charting. In fact, there's 2 on the rock charts. This by Enly Blue. This is an AI artist. It's at number 15.
No stars above.
Definitely recognize if you just heard that song playing out somewhere that you would think, oh, Jesus, totally an AI artist.
No,
is it obvious to you?
No, because I think there's 2 different ways of doing AI. I think there are people who know how to play music and are using AI the correct way as a tool. And then there's the lazy, cheap AI way where you put a couple words in, hit a button, and you can tell a difference.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, right now it just appears like these AI artists are doing okay. And already I would argue that the Xenia Monet, her $3 million deal with the record label is starting to pay off because she's got 3 charters. And on the emerging artist list, this is Juno Sky, an AI song. Would you know this is AI? Oh, well, this is a well-known gospel song, actually. That's unreal. And they're having an AI artist sing this? I don't know, man. Yeah, I really, the more I hear the AI stuff, I'm really starting to hate it, but I don't think there's anything I can do about it.
That's just it.
There's so many people who are capable of singing that song. Why do we have that? Why are we pushing AI artists?
Well, that's what's odd to me is what are we trying to do? Are we trying to become obsolete and let other...
When you have someone that can do that, and that, like I said, that is a well-known song that if you know gospel, you'll know that tune. Why are you having an AI artist sing that? Humans can completely sing that.
To me,
sound great.
But I'm old school. I think that the human spirit can still go through, and I think people are moved by that. When you see old clips of Whitney Houston singing live, it's emotional at times. It's beautiful,
and it's every chart. I'm seeing R&B. I'm seeing rock, gospel. We just did even country. This is Breaking Rust. Number 9 on the emerging artist chart, and it's number 5 right now on the country digital song sales chart. This is emerging artists Breaking Rust, Borrowed Time.
'Cause I don't give a damn who don't like me. This world spins fast and time ain't free. We're all just sparks in the midnight sky, fading out slow, saying goodbye. So pour that whiskey, let it burn fine. Laugh at the scars that prove I'm alive. We're all just living.
So I wonder how much work really goes into this, because we've made those songs, or I typed in a few cues and it gave me a song and it took me 15 seconds to do that. Now, is AI being used like you would see an EDM DJ putting together a song? You're like going, how much effort did that take? And they're like, actually, it took a lot of effort.
Well, for example, the full moon sensitivity song I wrote about Magnolia.
Yeah, I love that one.
I had to sit down and write out those lyrics myself, and I had to make sure it was structured like a song.
Okay.
Now you can do a thing where you put in a topic and it can spit it out, and you have no idea what the words are going to be.
Right.
But if you can absolutely write your own. But it does take a little bit more extra time.
Crazy. How about that? Looks like 8 songs right now are charting on different charts.
You can tell AI is really going through the whole jelly roll.
Yeah, they are. They are. And look, I think it will take a real human to create a new sound. You know,
yes.
I think that's it. And I think that's what you'll see. Genres have always done this, where they find a sound and they burn it out with all these other artists that are pretending to do the exact same thing. You saw it in boy bands, you saw it in hair bands, you see it in R&B, you see it in every format. And I think that's what AI will do now. It'll replace those junk artists that burn out the sound of a genre, and then it'll take a human to come up with a new sound and something different.
It's all on what we want as a species. Do you want the robots doing the work for us, or do you want to get out there and do the work?
I would imagine before long, you're going to see a 50-50 split on the charts.
I think you're going to just see a 50-50 split on people's opinions on this topic. Because some people get really fired up about it.
I'm wondering how many people that are streaming those songs, do they even realize that they're listening to an AI artist, or do they not care?
Well, if you were walking in Target or TJ Maxx and one of those songs came on.
It wouldn't, yeah.
Yeah, you wouldn't.
I would have no idea.
Yeah.
Listen to those. I had no idea any of that was AI. So it's becoming popular, and who knows? It just might be all over the place before we know it. Have you ever called 911? If you have, what did you call for? Last time I called 911, I was coming to work. It was very dark. It was a dark street, and there was a dude that was just laying in the middle of the road. And I thought, yeah, that's probably not good. So I called 911. I said, hey, you might want to get somebody to check on that dude and get him out there. I don't want anything to happen to him. And I thought it, kind of was worthy of an emergency. I don't know. I guess that's it. Because I think everybody would state what is an emergency at different levels. And so you could ask maybe the same two people the same thing. Be like, hey, would you call 911? I'd be like, you don't need to call that for that.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, to me, I felt like it was worthy. Now, you've called 911 before, and maybe it's just because your mother's son, you said your mom has called 911 a few times back in her day.
She did. There was one time my dad built us a fort as kids.
Ooh,
and
fun.
like day 2 of the fort, there was this giant, large, we don't know if it was a rat. It didn't look like a rat, but it looked like some kind of giant hamster of sorts.
Yes.
And my mom did not like those kind of animals. And my dad wasn't home and she didn't know what to do. She called 911. And I remember as a kid listening to the police officer talk to my mom.
Yeah.
It's like, so do you want me to arrest him?
She just wanted the problem to go away.
Yeah.
That's all she wanted.
I know Ann called 911 because she thought she saw a UFO.
Really? Okay.
It was a flying saucer, but it was back in the 80s where you could rent these flying saucers for parties and have messages going on. And it was
almost kind of like a blimp.
Yes.
Type of thing.
But it was really low in Lake Park, and it was Happy Birthday, Richie. And that's when we figured, I don't think this is aliens.
You don't think Richie's a popular alien name? What if they're all named like Bob and Steve, Gary?
It was a good 10 minutes, so we thought we were looking at an alien UFO invasion.
That is amazing. Yeah, I imagine they get UFO calls all the time.
There's even a special UFO hotline you can call if you have an experience. And then the guy, Peter, who runs it, who's the main guy, I didn't even know he had this much prestige in the UFO world. We had him on Weird and Whatever, the podcast, a long time ago. And I remember he was just very adamant, I don't want this to be a joke. Please don't be pranking me. And he knows his stuff.
Yeah.
And then I've seen him in all these documentaries ever since.
Okay. He's Peter, the UFO phone operator?
Yeah, he is. He's in the UFO community. So if you see something in the sky, he tries to kind of coordinate to see if there's anything that's been flown out that day. And
I've seen that. They'll do maps on sightings. In fact, one of our KVJ Nationers just sent us, and they said, do you realize how many UFO sightings we have just off the coast of Florida?
Oh, it's insane.
Yeah. Where they're saying that they see them plunging into the ocean.
Well, I saw something weird the other night. I mean, the cool thing about my backyard, my sky is just, I have it where you can see everything in the sky. Mm-hmm. And I was so used to living in a townhouse, you forget that, hey, I kind of missed looking out at
Right.
the horizon a little bit.
Yeah.
And if you're out there long enough, you're gonna see something weird fly by.
Yeah,
I'm always looking up though.
Right. Well, I mean, today too, there's just so much stuff with all the SpaceX stuff that's going on and the drones, and you just never know what you're seeing.
Yeah, Saturday night going into Sunday morning, something just shot up straight into the sky and disappeared. Now, I'm not saying that's ET, but it was obviously cool looking.
Yeah.
Like, what was that thing? And I don't think anything was launched.
You don't think there's a space launch? Yeah, I think that's the first thing you have to coordinate, see if they have one of those.
Yeah, my girlfriend Honeyface looked into it, and she said she couldn't find it.
Okay, yeah.
Who knows?
Right, yeah, who knows? Who knows what you're seeing?
Could have been a flare from a distance.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking it's, it just was cool looking.
What was your latest 911 call?
Man, it's this thing when I grab my phone, if I'm doing too many things and I have my phone in my hand, there's a thing you can hit with two of the buttons that automatically call 911, and you don't even realize you're doing it sometimes until you hear 911 dispatch. I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm stupid.
Well, my phone, you have like 3 buttons, so that seems like that might be easy to do.
It is easy to do. I think I'm doing it right. Yeah, see, watch. I'm not going to call them, but you can see how it happens.
Oh, and it gives you like seconds?
Yes.
Where you have to interrupt it or else it will dial 911?
If you're doing a bunch of different things and you've got that in your hand, and because I tend to do that.
Yeah.
I'll have a bunch of things in my hand and not pay attention.
Yeah.
And so my thing about 911, can they trace a 911 call from your cell phone, or does that have to be a landline?
No, I think they can trace it, absolutely.
Huh.
Yeah, I think they triangulate the position. They can see what towers and kind of get an idea where you are. No, I don't know how accurate it is, and it might depend upon the service, but yeah, I think they can pretty much figure out where you are.
I know they can find you if they, do the research. If let's say you're missing for 4 days, they're able to find where your phone
where your
is
phone's
gone.
pinging from.
But let's say I called 911 from my cell phone and I don't give them my address. Do they automatically know how to get there, or do you have to physically tell them, hey, I'm here? Because back in the day, the landline was...
I think I've seen news reports where something had happened in the home and there was a 911 call that was made and they could hear maybe it was a domestic issue or something like that, and the phone was still there and they were able to find out where it was. So I think so, and I don't know what technology it does to do that, but yeah, if anybody knows, you can let us know on that. 877-979-WRMF.
I guess I'm just more curious of the response time on something like that, because...
Probably depends upon what else is going on that night.
If I call 911, I'm like, I swear nothing's wrong. Everything's cool. How do they know I'm saying that and the maniac is in the room with you?
I would imagine, too, everything gets prioritized. If you have somebody that is, calling to say, hey, there's a, blimp that's flying over my house that says, happy birthday, Gary, I think it might be a UFO. They might put that lower than... somebody who's just lost,
or if somebody comes to the cops on a giant hamster.
Yeah, right. They may be like, we'll get to that one a little bit later. Might have a few. Go ahead. One text said, yes, we can track the calls that we get for 911, but it's not always completely accurate. And yes, we do prioritize the calls. We hear a loud disturbance. It's considered an in-progress, high-priority call. An open silent line is still typed up as a call for service, but at a lower priority. And they say if you're calling about a giant hamster in your backyard, they just ignore that one. Just a thought. Sorry, Ann.
That was my mom who did that.
Oh, your mom. Somebody else said, I had to call 911 because my cat got spooked and ran up a telephone pole. Fire truck came, and when they went to grab her, she ran halfway down the pole, then jumped the rest of the way. I was so embarrassed because I was the person that called, and they're looking at me like, thanks. That could be fun. Other texts that are coming in here, they say, the more advanced the phone technology, the closer to accurate we can get for a location. It doesn't work that well for burner phones. So if you have a higher quality phone, they can find you in case of an emergency better. They say even though we're able to pinpoint the location, we always still confirm the address.
Got you.
And somebody said when you dial 911, does your name and address come up? Yeah, I'm wondering on that too, kind of like a caller ID thing. I would imagine that might be part of it as well. Yeah, it's kind of weird things. You just know it's a service that's out there that we've had for a very long time, but how exactly does it work? The ins and outs of it, always educational here on the KVJ Show, thanks to your help.
What are you thinking about? What are you thinking about? What's on your mind? Are you thinking about? What are you thinking about?
Well, Denny's has got quite a thing going on today. He had talked about this sinus operation that he is going to be having today, and it sounds like it's kind of a big deal. Tell me exactly what this entails and what it's going to fix and why you decided to get this done.
So I went and got my allergies tested just because I've had bad allergies my whole life. Mm-hmm. And when they gave me back the results, they go, yeah, your allergies aren't that bad. You have a lot of allergies to animals, but that's really where everything lied. But they go, we could do a free scan of your face and see, how your sinuses look. And when they did, my one sinus looked great, but my right sinus was completely filled with just, I guess, gunk or whatever, kind of gross.
No, I don't know. It's gross.
Yeah. So I guess underneath your eyes, you have these a pocket on each side, and that's when you breathe in. That's your sinuses. And over time, if it gets inflamed or you have bad allergies or whatever, maybe it doesn't clear out 100%. And over time, it can build up in there. And I think a lot of people's allergies might root from something of that nature opposed to actually being allergic to something,
Yeah. I never even heard of this concept that this is something that you'd have to have done. And
I also had no idea that there was just 2 giant sinus pockets like in your face.
Yeah.
So
what does this entail? Because you're going under sedation to do this, right?
Yep. So they do local anesthesia, which is not my most favorite thing. But the procedure itself is pretty minimally invasive, I guess you could say. And it's really a quick operation. I think they said it's about 22 minutes or 25 minutes.
It is very odd, though, to go under. It's a weird thing. And I know that the night before of any procedure, it kind of makes you a little restless.
Yes. But I guess they do that mainly for comfort because the gist of it is they're going to stick a tube in my nose and they're going to just vacuum out all that stuff. And they say that the reason they like to knock people out is just that it's very unnerving to have something in your face like that.
I could see that. And you probably would hear the noise and just be odd.
They said they numb you and everything, and they go, honestly, you could do it without being knocked out, but they go, a lot of people get anxiety when it goes down like that. So it's easier just to be kind of in that twilight.
Take a little nap and wake up. Have your sinuses vacuumed.
Yep. So they do it, I guess it's a 30-minute max procedure, and then you have to lay for an hour while they observe you just to make sure everything went well. Okay. And then the recovery's, I guess, 48 hours, I'm probably going to have a little bit of a bloody nose or whatever. But then after that, they say the recovery is less than a week. And
you'll be able to talk and breathe and do everything okay?
Yeah.
Normal?
It is weird. I never was aware of it before, but when you breathe in, you can kind of feel it under your eye that air goes through a passage of some sort.
Okay.
Not the one that goes to your throat and stuff, but on the right side, I never noticed it before until they pointed it out to me and explained it to me. I was like, damn, you're right. I actually don't feel any air coming through there.
Do you want some soup for the next couple of days, or is that something you got to stay away from? I just always feel like soup is kind of a healing food.
It's such a safe one.
I feel like for some reason it heals the soul and pain for some reason.
Yeah, it's very soothing.
Yeah, they said that there'll be some, I'll have a probably just from stretching out my nose and sticking a tube in there. I think they said there's going to be a discomfort for about 48 hours. Okay. And then they said the recovery is pretty quick. I mean, my father had this earlier this year. When I brought it up to him, he goes, that's so random. I just had this done. He goes, I didn't even know. Again, he didn't know that there were sinus ducts under your eyes or whatever.
Did he say it made a big change?
Big change. He said it was a game changer. He's actually the reason I'm doing it is just because he talked me into it. He said he would have done it years earlier had he known.
Wow. Okay.
But same type of thing. He never really had allergies. He got tested. He does not have severe allergies. I think just from life, if you get a sinus infection, any of the above, you can develop something like this.
Will your voice sound different tomorrow?
I think so. I think They said that. They noticed 2 things. They said that, I mean, I never even really noticed, I guess, because you're just so gradual. But they said that my eye will get a little bit less puffy on the side, too.
Huh. It is crazy. When I was about 23 years old, I got my tonsils and my adenoids taken out.
Okay.
You would not have believed what my voice sounded like before I got them taking I talk like this, like I had peanut butter, and I was Jodie Foster.
Is she really?
It was. I gotta find old audio of it because it got so bad. I had sleep apnea, and I kept getting sore throat. So they said, we got to take out your tonsils, your adenoids, and then all of a sudden, I got to start to talk more like this.
Hello, it's Jbird. Okay.
My voice changed greatly.
Change.
Yeah, so I probably sound less stuffy. They say that the stuffiness in my voice is probably from this sinus duct.
That does suck, man. If you are a person who does not struggle with sinuses, and I'm blessed because I don't really, but I have seen people, I mean, it take them down. You're just constantly leaking and stuff's going out. It's just so uncomfortable.
Yeah. Wow.
So
not easy to go through.
No, but I think tomorrow is going to be good because it's just one of those things you just get done and move on, you know? I feel like it's not even that big of an operation or whatever, you know? So nice little stepping stone, but I don't like being knocked out.
I don't think anybody does.
But I think it's the way to go for this one. Because, you know, you're just sitting there and you decide halfway through, I don't know if I like this. And they got this tube in your nose, you know? So I'd rather just be sedated.
Have you been knocked out before?
Never. I've got anxiety about it. I've never done it. And I know if I were going into Denny's situation, I would be anxious about it.
It's odd because you really do. They put it, you know, they put the thing in your arm or whatever.
Yep.
And then you're just out. And then you just wake up as if it was a quick fleeting dream. It's a bizarre feeling.
I did it with my wisdom teeth. And it's weird. They have you count down. They tell you to count down from 10. You count down to 8 and you're already out.
I can never get to even 1. They'll go count 1 to 10. What?
Yeah, it's pretty much like that.
Yeah. Okay. I can't wait to see what the results are like.
Yeah, me either. Well, so the cool thing is I asked them to take the sample that they take out of there, and they'll test that and see if it's developed anything. They said a lot of times people develop mold on those.
Yo, that's
And
crazy.
you just live with a mold pouch in your face.
That doesn't feel like that's very healthy. That's
nuts. They say that a lot of people misconstrue. I mean, a lot of people have allergies for sure, but a lot of times it's misconstrued. It's actually probably a clogged sinus duct.
Wow.
That's giving you issues.
Okay.
My father, like I said, he has minimal allergies. It was just over, 70 years of just having sinus issues through time.
Is it an ear, nose, and throat doctor that does this for you?
So I'm going to Aspire Allergy and Sinus, which I believe they're mainly allergists, but an ear, nose, and throat doctor would also operate the same.
Okay. All right.
You can go to either.
Let me know if you want some butternut squash soup.
I will. I'm going to play it out today. Today might be minimal. I'm doing that weird 8-hour fast you have to do before, and you can only drink water about 6 hours ago. Yeah. So I'm no longer on liquids or any foods until the operation.
It really does. If you have to get a procedure done where you're not supposed to eat the night before, and you even have to take something to clean you out or whatever, it's just you're like, oh, well, this would be a fun day or two.
Yeah. And I went to the dentist last night. I figured I'd just get everything done this week.
Yeah. Well, good luck with that, Denny's. Can't wait to hear the results. Best
Very excited.
And for most of you probably don't even realize that you can listen or watch the KVJ Show on YouTube. I know some of you are, but one thing we're always trying to do is improve the ways in which you can get the show, making it easier for you, make sure we're delivering enough content, not too much content, the right way in the right place. And so we always kind of tweak things up a little bit here and there to always, try to see if we're doing it the right way or if we can do it better. And so this week we're tweaking a little bit. So I just want to let you know, programming note, after the show will be live today, which you can check out on YouTube. And are we back with Twitch on that, Denny's? Is that working for us again? Okay,
we are. We're back on Twitch for about 2 weeks now. It's been a test phase, so I didn't mention it publicly because I just wanted to make sure everything was working again.
Okay.
And we're back in full effect.
We're back in the chat room, baby.
Yes.
Okay. But the regular main show's not on Twitch, just the after the show?
Only the after the show, and it's just because of copyrights.
Yeah, so there's all kinds of little platforms have their own little rules, so we're trying to get you whatever platform you prefer and in the right way. And so every single day on YouTube, the plan is you'll be able to check out the entire live show, but it does include the music and commercials. We also have the after the show, which is going to be there, and then we offer up an edited, shorter version of the regular show that you can get without the music and commercials. So that is going to be there for you every single day, and that is the YouTube strategy that we have right now.